Let's get it.
Hey. The awkward peace sign.
Welcome back to another episode of Better Than Cable. We got the incredible human weapon next to me.
You just keep
We got
adding
the
stuff
hacker over there. And DJ Bobby B is leading
Yeah.
y'all in today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we just got a fun-filled episode here where I'm going to pick the brains of my two constituents here. So this is going to be a little interesting. Yes, a fun-filled episode, Parse. You're ready.
Yeah, let's gear up.
Better get on the
Gear up.
thinking wheels.
That intro's so fucking cheesy. A
So
fun film.
Good.
cheesy.
It better
So
be.
cheesy.
That was the goal.
It legit it started from the awkward ass peace sign.
Yeah,
That shit was so fucking cheesy.
I nailed
bro.
that.
All right, continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
That was prime, dude.
Like a Disney
Yeah,
ass intro.
so no, we're just gonna pick your guys' brains about some
Bet.
things, see what you think about on the daily.
All right.
So yeah, I guess we'll jump right into it.
Yeah.
I guess so. Here's how this is gonna work. Each of you has to answer each question, and we'll start with Ananya on the first question, then Parse will answer, and then on the second question, Parse will go first, and then Ananya will
Oh
answer.
my god.
All right.
Why are we doing that format? So you're not gonna. So you're only asking questions. You're not answering.
Correct.
All right. How about you answer the question first?
This is not what we discussed.
And then me and Parse will like follow up.
No, because you're both just gonna say what he said. That's why I picked the flip flop.
All right, let's see what type of questions these are. Let's go. With
Yeah,
the
you
first
don't
one.
even know what's
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, all right, let's go.
You don't
Let's-
even know what's
let's-
coming.
Shoot.
All right. So the first one is if you had to invent a product today that would make over $100 million, what would you invent?
Okay.
So like,
Okay.
If I had $100 million idea, I would be doing it right now, man.
For real,
yeah,
legit.
it's supposed to generate that. Okay, get the wheels turning. Let's see what you come up with. So Ananya, you're gonna answer first. You can have a moment to contemplate if you want.
What?
You want me to come up with $100 million idea right now?
Like, dude, it's
Plasma gun.
okay. What does the plasma gun do?
That already exists.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
it's
That already fucking exists. That's basically what a
lightsaber.
welding
just
thing
like
is.
if you had to
That's
think
literally
of
what you use to
something that
weld.
you think would be. This is also like it's not guaranteed to be. You just think it
Okay.
would be.
How about something that like it can turn salt water into drinkable water?
That works. It's called the desalination plant.
No, that like I don't know, something more accessible. I don't fucking know. Bobby, you're asking me to come up with $100 million idea
Yeah,
that hasn't been made yet.
you don't have these like on the ready.
No, I would have done something by now. If I had $100 million idea.
You guys are not being very fun with this. It's supposed to be fun filled.
I mean, how there you can't have fun with this one.
How do you not have fun with it?
Yeah. All right.
What
What are you gonna come up with? Like
Do you want
a
me to, like,
fucking
bob
balloon
land?
that goes to space? Like what are you gonna come
exactly.
up with?
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
Pick a space elevator. Make an
space
elevator
elevator.
to go to
There's-
space.
That'd be cool.
A space elevator is very unpractical because you have to start mining material from space.
Yeah.
And we barely have capability to even
Well,
go to the moon right now.
There are
Yeah.
other much
No.
larger problems with it too. Like the weight of the rope or whatever you use
Yeah,
is
that's
going to be
full
too
up.
much for it to exist.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, but in reality, you'd have like it'd be partitioned. It wouldn't be one piece, right? So it would be like short trips,
Yeah, it'd be like a railroad.
and then along the way, you're like having stopping like floating islands
Yeah.
that you're basically gonna be able to stop at.
yeah.
well then
facts.
you only have one at the end. The whole idea for why it works is you only have one at the end that's in geostationary orbit. So the
Yeah.
force of it spinning around the Earth at the same speed as the Earth is rotating will keep it up. So you have to have it go
Yeah,
all the
but
way
I
out
mean,
there.
I don't think you could ever be able to connect it directly. Like with material going directly, that would be very complicated. And then the
No, yeah.
centripetal force on that, like unless it's
Well, the basic
yeah,
thing,
exactly. It would have to be.
even if you use like carbon nanotubes or graphene, the weight of the tether is gonna weigh too much.
Yeah.
It's gonna
It's gonna be
break
too
its
much.
tensile.
Yeah,
also
so that's
just
why
gonna
you
So
have
you
to.
can't even have
The
something.
The only
that
thing
high.
that's practical about it is if you can basically partition it into floating, floating pieces.
No,
right?
but you
Going
can't.
all the way up.
You can't. The pieces don't float. Because if they're any
No,
closer,
so you have each
than where the end is,
piece float.
no, but they'll want to fall. They'll fall to Earth. It'll all be more weight on the top, because only the one at the top that's in geostationary orbit will
the
be
one
going the
that's-
Yeah.
correct speed to not fall back to your Earth.
Yeah.
So all the ones below it will
Oh,
want
I
to rotate
guess.
faster, but
Yeah,
they won't
I
be
guess-
able
I
to.
get
So
what
it'll
you're
just
saying.
be weight pulling
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, what you could do is like, I think the only thing possible is like if you had
It would have to be like railroad.
relatively a lot of nuclear
pieces.
fuel, you could have some kind of thing where these things are like literally just flying midair. So giant
Just like
flying
constant
island.
energy output.
Yeah, and they're
Okay.
just running on nuclear power. Yeah. I think maybe that's one thing, but that's like so long. Maybe that's 100 years from now when we'd have the tech to be able to do that.
Well, it's also, at least with our current energy reserves, just tons of energy.
Yeah, it's very impractical too.
Yeah.
Like you might
I
as
mean,
well just launch a bunch of
Again,
rockets.
that
Yeah.
goes back to the space mining. Eventually, we're gonna need a mine space.
Oh
Regardless.
yeah, we'll get there. Send
And
our
then
little robot dudes out.
Imagine
to
we're gonna mine Mars, and maybe we might find a ton of like radioactive material on Mars, and and bring it all over. So who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, radioactive asteroids.
No, but I mean, there you go. $100 million idea, mining space. I think that's the only practical method we have of
I think
getting
that-
enough material to do anything cool.
I think you guys have overestimated the amount of money that $100 million idea is. Because like mine in space, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
that's gonna
it's
be way
not
more.
one of them, but that's like a
Yeah.
$100 trillion idea.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
And were
Hey.
you sticking with plasma gun? Is that what we landed on? That's also like trillion.
Yeah, that's also like a
No, dude, a real lightsaber. How about
yeah,
that?
a real
A fucking-
lightsaber is sick.
Also
Facts.
like trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know how
Iron
You
many
think that'd be
military
trillions?
contracts
Real
are
Iron
there
Man
for
suit.
that?
Let's go with the Iron Man suit.
Also trillions of dollars. I
Wait,
told you,
think
you guys are all
it would
missing.
cost $1 trillion.
That's
Wait,
not
so you think
trillion.
it costs
Iron
$1
Man-
trillion to create a real lightsaber? How much do you really think it costs?
No, I think you could sell enough of them to make $1 trillion.
Oh, you think?
Oh.
You think there'd be that much demand for a lightsaber?
I think you could get numerous military contracts for a weapon that will cut through anything and stop bullets.
Yeah.
Well, they can't stop bullets.
Yeah, they
They
can.
would just melt bullets.
Exactly. Things that go
They
through
can't.
it disintegrate.
Yeah,
it
but-
leaves like a gap.
Doesn't the mass will still be there though, right? I mean the momentum.
It'll be gas.
So it'd be liquid metal.
or it would go straight to gas. It would sublimate
It wouldn't. The metal wouldn't sublimate
or sublimate. Sublimate.
or whatever. Yeah, it
Added
wouldn't
an extra
sublimate.
syllable. Sublimate. No,
it would just
it
it
could.
would be going too fast because the width of the saber is only a few inches. At
You don't
max.
know how hot the center of the saber is.
Even if it was
There's a temperature
that's
hot enough
true.
to flash
It-
metal.
That's true. That's true.
Somewhere.
I mean, it would have to be really. It would have to be. It
For all
wouldn't
we
be
know,
practical
it's the
to hold it
surface
near
of
you.
the sun.
No, but if it was that close to, then it wouldn't be practical to hold it.
But
At
you
that
might
point, it's
not
not
feel
practical
it.
to hold it.
You might not feel it.
Until you touch it.
You would feel it if it was that hot.
It depends.
If it was like
you
the-
have to design and develop the lightsaber. I'm just saying, right now you don't know how hot it is.
Okay, no, that's
if we go
unprac-
with
it would-
Canon lightsabers, I think they would stop bullets.
No, I think if it's Canon, it's way less hot. It should if it's just able to melt through metal, that only has to be like 2,500 degrees, and that's reasonable. Let's say
It doesn't
to put that
just
near you.
melt through metal though. It
Melts
goes
through
through metal
everything.
like it's butter,
Yeah.
and you can move it around. It's not like you're just melting
not
it; you're getting
Okay,
rid
so
of metal.
let's say it's at 5,000 degrees,
and they
right?
could put
Where
a
it's
force
easily-
field around it. I'm thinking more like
But-
22,000. I don't know if anything that's hot is that hot. That's pretty
22
hot.
I don't what's 22,000 degrees. I have no scale.
I don't
on
even
that
think
either.
the sun is that hot.
I have no idea what the fuck is that hot. No, the sun is like even hotter. I'm pretty sure. The sun is
Like 50.
is an insane amount of heat. Let's find out.
Yep.
How hot is the sun
I already beat you there.
in Fahrenheit? Let's do
Are
it
we
in
doing Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Fahrenheit. So it gives us
All right,
like a real scale.
10,000.
10,000 Fahrenheit.
So twice the temperature of the surface of the sun.
Yo. Yeah, you're cooked.
Unless there's a force field,
so
around it, preventing
exactly.
it from
So
letting the heat out.
even a force, but how does force field prevent heat? That's
I
like
don't
a
know.
totally different thing.
You're inventing a lightsaber. How does it lightsaber?
Dude.
But like something's got to contain the plasma. Why does it just stop?
No,
at
I
the
mean,
end?
so it would be able to contain the plasma, but not the heat, right? I mean,
You
those
don't
are
know
like that seems like an impossible.
It's electromagnetic
do you stop-
radiation.
No, you would have to stop the air movement. That's
Maybe.
how the heat would transfer is
Maybe
through the
air
air.
have to
couldn't go
freeze it
through.
somehow.
Maybe you could make it only radiative heat.
But it would be so hot it's constantly expanding. That would be a hard thing to contain.
Maybe. Don't
Force
know
field.
till you build
Okay,
it.
that seems like the hardest part of this problem.
But
Is like
my
if it's
point-
really that hot,
My point, though,
Then
is you guys both
couldn't
went
hold
for
it near
ideas
you.
way bigger than $100 million. $100 million is like you invent a new stapler and offices like it.
that is
That
not
could
100
even be
million.
$1 billion.
That is-
idea.
Yeah,
Nah.
that's probably like that could be.
That is not 100 million.
that's
Are you
probably-
kidding me?
that's probably just a-
Stapler?
yeah,
You
that's probably
invent a stapler
few
and
mil.
Stapler
every
today in
Yeah.
2025.
Yep. And every corporate
No
office
way.
thinks it's the most genius thing in the world.
way.
The stapler.
You just revolutionized the stapler.
People don't even use staplers anymore, bro. They don't have paper.
Legit, who uses
no
paper?
I disagree.
No one
You
uses
invent a
paper.
stapler, you sell it to the government and all its departments that have to do paper filing. That's at least, what, 30,000 staplers I'm selling?
And that's maybe a $30 million contract, not 100 million. I can't even
Well,
see
then
it
we
close
sell them
enough.
to all of corporate America.
Corporate America doesn't use paper anymore.
Then we sell them to other
Like I just
countries
said,
that are still on
Maybe you
paper.
could sell them. Maybe you could sell them to hospitals.
I think
Maybe
you could sell
hospitals
'em,
have
dude.
paper records.
So,
I think hospitals, maybe.
but my point is, lightsaber military contracts, it's making more than 100 million. Easy. Every nation's gonna have 5, at least.
How cool would be a real lightsaber, man? That'd be cool
That'd
as
be
fuck.
sick.
But
Yeah.
it would have that problem where have you guys heard that where if you drop a lightsaber, what's stopping it from going to the center of the earth? If it's really that hot.
Nothing. That's the whole point of the episode of Rick and Morty.
That seems
where he
too
gives Morty
dangerous.
A lightsaber.
Right? That seems too dangerous.
Well-
I think you'd have to cap the temperature to a reasonable amount.
I don't think you would. I think you just tell people
What?
not to be
With
stupid.
great
You literally all
responsibility.
you have to do is not drop it straight
Really?
down.
Really? So, what if
Gotta be
someone kills you while you're
responsible.
using it? You're gonna use it
It's
for
just like-
military, right?
It
Someone
just
kills
goes
you and then
through-
you drop it. So then what happens?
You also there's a way easier failsafe. There's a way easier
Like,
failsafe. It just turns
what if the
off as soon
failsafe
as you let
fails?
go.
What if the failsafe fails?
Make it a pressure switch. It won't fail.
Yeah, maybe you have to.
It
press a
100%
button.
will
You
fail.
have to be
it.
It'll
holding
fail
it.
somehow.
Yeah, maybe you have to be like.
It'll fail somehow.
Well, then one idiot's gonna drop a lightsaber in the center of the
Like
room.
I mean, imagine
I
one
hate
dude's
to break
hand
it to
gets
you
cut
too.
off.
It's probably gonna melt the handle of the
A dude's
lightsaber
hand
before it
gets
makes
cut
it.
off, and then like his finger's still holding the trigger, right? And it just goes straight through the earth with his
Then
hand.
it'll
just
go
his
down.
hand.
It'll go down to the mantle and it'll melt into nothing.
No, but it's hotter than the mantle, right? You just said it's as hot as the sun.
Yeah, but the handle isn't. The thing you built.
Yeah, but the handle can resist that temperature because it's the
Why?
handle. Because it's holding the freaking plasma. It has to be able to resist that temperature.
The plasma doesn't touch it.
Wait,
It is.
Yeah, no,
it's
it has to
it's
touch
literally
it.
holding the plasma within it.
Yeah,
That's-
it doesn't
That's
touch
what
it.
the handle does.
That's-
That's what the
like
force
here.
field is
But it's
doing.
right next to
The force
it.
field is always
next
in
to-
between the plasma
Okay,
and everything
This
else.
force field seems unreasonable. Dude.
Yeah,
How would
it's
this
like,
force
it's like a
field fucking
tezeract.
work like that?
We are
He
talking
found- he
about
found a
lightsabers.
tezeract.
You need to
for
be
his
in its own
lightsaber.
dimension.
Legit.
At that point, it need to be in its own dimension. You need
Maybe
like a
it is.
black hole.
Maybe it's
surrounding
adding
the
an extra
fucking-
dimension.
You're accessing a black hole through it.
Oh,
Yeah. How do you know what it is? It's a force field that saves it from heat. Otherwise, why doesn't the lightsaber just shoot out the bottom of the lightsaber too? Why does it only go in one direction?
I think the only thing you could do is like you would need to manipulate gravity around it or something. Like,
Yeah.
but then when it interacts with something, how do you maintain that interaction? So it doesn't make
That's
sense.
part of your
If there's a
development
force
of
field-
your lightsaber.
Basically, it doesn't add up because if you have the force field around it, then it can't interact with the environment. The force field would interact with the environment, so it doesn't make any sense.
There's
basically.
just a lot of
The
nitty gritty
summary,
here that
the summary is it doesn't make any
you have
sense
to give
because
to your research and development team, not
you would if there wasn't a force field, you'd instantly burn the person
Holding it.
like
Yeah.
instantly.
yeah.
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 That's why there's a force field. To prevent
Yeah,
that.
no, the only thing that would work is like if the person holding it has a force field on them, and then everyone
the
else
force
is
fields
exposed
around
to
the
lightsaber.
plasma. You're talking about
No,
like a whole like I'm
wouldn't
gonna
work
show
like
you
that.
this sun and you're gonna turn into dust. That's not what a lightsaber
Because
is. It's just a
it is.
beam of super hot
No,
plasma that you stick into.
No, that's
things.
literally what it is. If you say it's as hot as the sun,
But
imagine
no, the force field.
imagine what it could do to you.
Bobby, the force field is
Being
not
that
gonna
close.
like if it's hot.
You don't
if
know the
sun-
properties
hot.
of force fields.
the
They have
sun
not been
heats up the
invented.
entire the
Dude.
sun heats up
Yeah,
the
but
entire
dude,
Earth. That's how
Yeah.
fucking hot this shit
The
is.
whole solar
But
It
the
heats
sun
up the
is
whole Earth
giant.
from 93 million miles away.
But
yeah.
the sun is giant.
Yeah, but it's only putting off 10,000 degrees, right? 10,000 degrees is 10,000 degrees.
It's also spewing off radiation.
Yeah, but it's coming from like that's the heat though. That's the whole point of it.
That's
The
legit.
well, yes, I'm saying it's giving you heat in more ways than just heat.
Yeah, so
we don't
imagine-
get
No, yeah, if
radiative
it's-
heat.
It's
Well, it
20,000
might be
degrees. It would
radiative.
still be radiated. Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's a force field.
Basically, the force field doesn't add up, dude.
The
Basically,
force
that's,
field is
that's
the
the main
$1
problem with
trillion
The
lightsabers.
lightsaber doesn't
I
add
think
up.
that's the main problem.
The
I
lightsaber
think that's the
doesn't
main
add
problem.
up. It's not the force field. We can't make either.
That part.
Talking about a fictional force field for a fictional weapon.
Man, I'm trying to make it work though. Like, how would it work?
It
Like,
wouldn't.
without just burning the shit out of yourself. Like, how
Oh,
the
the
fuck
force
would you make
field.
it work?
The force field.
This is all I got for you. It needs a force field so it doesn't burn you up. That's all you got. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you get like 3rd degree sunburn in 10 seconds?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It would.
Yeah.
It would. That's
So
exactly
force
what it
field.
would do. Every time you open it, everyone would get fried. You wouldn't
Yeah,
even need to
everyone
fight
would just-
anybody.
yeah,
Like everyone
yeah.
would just get fried, bro. Like
Legit.
their eyes would fucking get
Yo,
like
The
you-
oxygen
damage
in the
and
room
blind,
would ignite.
You know?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you just set things on fire. So force field. And it solves all our problems
man.
nice and easy. Don't have to explain it anymore.
It would, but it doesn't make any sense. Like then you would interact with the force field. Man. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I know it doesn't make
doesn't make
sense,
any-
but a lightsaber also doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
It must have to turn off. It has to like be a force field connected with AI, where it turns off and the exact part which is making contact with whatever's interacting with it.
No, you
would
just
need to be
it's-
like some
the
kind of
force
AI
field
force
can't
field.
go through solid bodies. So when you cut something, it just blocks the force field with the close
If you
part
could
of
just
it.
make a force field like that, why would you not just use a force field? You could just fucking do whatever you want with force fields then. Like you don't even need a lightsaber at that point. If you figure out force fields, you can just fucking manipulate force around you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like at that point, you don't even need it. You basically got telepathy or telekinetic abilities.
Well, I mean, I'm not the one making the force field. The force field is part of
Yeah.
the lightsaber weapon.
Yeah, no,
It's
but
a
if,
module.
if that's possible, if
Like
that's
there's
possible,
a force field
a
module.
lightsaber's useless because now it can contain a lightsaber. So why do you even need lightsabers? At
Well,
that
you
point?
see, the kyber crystal is worth more energy than like it just wouldn't be.
Saying shit.
Dude, that's literally what the inside of lightsabers are. That's what they
It's the
put in them
crystal.
to make.
Yeah, the
crystal.
crystal.
Yeah,
At the
the
bottom,
kyber
the-
crystal.
Yeah.
That's the
the ish
name
that
I
Luke
said.
Skywalker.
Yeah,
had to
where
get.
you're gonna find a kyber crystal
We have a lightsaber. I assume
Oh,
we
true,
have a kyber
okay.
crystal.
and the force field.
Well, yeah, and the force field, you can only have it on the lightsabers because the kyber crystal has so much energy output that it just wouldn't be feasible to run like force fields everywhere because you'd need nuclear power everywhere. That's why it's only on the lightsabers, not everything else.
Yeah.
You just have the energy there to power it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would need to be nuclear powered 100%. So that kyber crystal, I don't know what that must be like a really advanced solid state battery of some sort, right? That they're using somehow.
like the best type of energy.
Like that crystal is a battery basically in itself. Which maybe we'll find out doing space mining. Back to my idea.
Yeah.
Going all the way back.
No, space mining's a good one. Space mining's just like we took a tangent there. But space mining's just like I think it'll be worth way more than 100 million.
Yeah.
Like we're talking trillions.
Yeah.
Because imagine that, like, yeah, exactly. Like, there's probably other minerals and shit like that we've never even seen on Earth.
Yeah.
That are on other planets because of like pressure and different situations. Yeah.
Well, and space mining will also make things matter less. Like gold, there will be a lot more gold, a lot more silver, a lot more precious metals.
Gold, diamonds.
Gold is prevalent in our solar system, but it's not common throughout the universe. That's what I found out recently. Because you have to have, apparently to create gold, you have to have a double supernova, which is incredible. So you have to have two supernovas next to each other to create enough energy to create gold.
Well, we got a bunch of gold, I guess, then.
And it's randomly very prevalent in our solar system, but not elsewhere, apparently.
Makes sense.
Dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, then.
Yeah, really random fact.
So, Parse
that show's
gets
so
a
cool to
point.
me. I was like,
Parse gets a point. Space mining.
oh, we're scoring this?
Yeah.
We're scoring this?
It's more.
I didn't know
think
this was like a
debate
score.
rules. Think like debate rules.
All right.
So Parse gets a point.
Cool.
And now we're on to question 2, Parse. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, you go first this time.
So
All right, let's go.
Tomorrow, you get $100 million.
Why is it always
You're right. Let's not do the same amount. Tomorrow, you get $10 million. Okay? It's not 100. It's 10.
Okay.
And you have to spend that $10 million in the next 7 days. What are you buying?
Okay.
Oh, this is easy.
Well, until
what
you
could I get
figure
for
out who
$10
gets
million?
the point.
What's the coolest thing you can get for 10? I don't have any scope on that because I don't have $10 million.
You gotta
I have no idea.
come
what
up
the
with
fuck you
stuff.
could
I'll
get for
tell you
10
if
million.
it's too expensive.
Like what would I want? I mean, like I'm just thinking of like the basic things are like a house. You gotta get a house. You gotta buy some property with $10 million. I mean, fuck it. I'm gonna spend the entire $10 million on property.
Yeah.
But it has to be in the right. It has to be in the right place. Potentially New York, because that property value is always going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think to put $10 million, I think your best bet is property because that shit's gonna go up, man.
Okay.
It's getting more expensive by the day to buy property in the U.S.
Yeah, no, that's exactly
Legit.
what I was thinking too.
Parse is doing property.
100%.
I was gonna do property, but I was gonna do like, I would get like a house in Chicago, get something in LA, get something in New York, just kind of buy a bunch of houses throughout like the United States. Maybe even go out to Europe. Maybe get some land in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'd buy like I'd split it into two. Maybe I'd get two places just to hedge your bets.
No, exactly. I was gonna do
But-
like maybe like 3 houses or something.
Yeah,
Maybe like a East Coast house, like a Chicago house.
but
and a
yeah,
West
no,
Coast
I think that's the move, dude. Because anything else, it's not really guaranteed like returns. Like
Yeah.
even the stock market's shady right now. Like especially right now,
Yeah.
you never know what's gonna happen right now.
Yeah.
So, but the housing, it will always return because at the end of the day, people are gonna try to buy land or like live somewhere by themselves, and that's something everyone wants to do. Eventually. So
Yeah.
that always is gonna return. It doesn't matter if it crashes. It's always gonna
Well,
return.
unless society collapses and they just kill you for your land.
Yeah, and I mean, if they burn down New York, then yeah, it's not gonna fucking matter. But yeah, sure.
But a lot of things wouldn't matter then.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
just so we're all on the same page, Parse is probably getting the point here
Why?
because he gave the idea first, and you basically said his idea.
Okay, I mean, sure. Even though that was what I was gonna go with the same exact thing.
I'm not saying you weren't,
That was
but
what-
we just got the same answer twice. So
Alright,
the
true.
man who said it first.
All right.
I'm also making
I
up the
keep
rules to
forgetting
this
we're
as I
scoring
go.
this shit.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time you say like, "Yo," he gets the point. I'm like, "Oh fuck, I forgot where this is the fucking game, dude."
Yeah, dude, it matters. It matters a lot.
Wait,
for how many
Bob? What
points
would you get for that? What would you get for 10 mil?
Oh, immediately car collection. I'd bet on nostalgia.
A car,
No, not a car.
Yeah, car
like
collection.
13
a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
All cars that haven't lost
How many?
value.
How many
Where would
cars
they
would
go,
you
though?
get? How many cars would you get maximum for 10 million?
Max? I mean, it kind of
Depends on the cars.
Um,
It depends on what cars.
It depends on what stuff is and where the market is. Like some of the more expensive ones, one of them sells every 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you get it at? I mean, I have some staples that I'd want on the list
Yeah.
that I think would be worth it. Like,
I would get a P1.
I would probably get a
car,
P1. Have batteries replaced in that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Would probably get a Murcielago.
Hey.
Okay.
Um,
OG.
I
yeah,
would get a F40.
that's over 10 million.
So you wouldn't get an Aventador?
Oh, no, F40 used? It's over 10.
There are no new ones.
Oh, well, yeah, duh. But like it's over 10? I thought it was
You
less
don't
than
know
10.
what the F40 and the F50 are two of the most expensive Ferraris.
Oh, I thought F40. I mean, I know it's expensive, but I thought
Lamborghini
it was less than
Mercy.
10. Be like
Would you get a
F40 or
Ferrari?
something. Yeah. F40.
Okay, maybe I could get an F40. I
Yeah,
thought,
see? I
is
don't
it
think
only the F50 that's like ridiculous?
I don't think F40 is that much. Or it's still like 5
No, some. I mean, yeah, some of
F50 is
them
like
like
5.
some
Okay,
Ferraris they
we
go
got
for
a
like
little bit
2
more
million.
to play
right?
with than I
Yeah,
thought.
see?
So we do a P1, we do an F50. I'd
Yeah.
probably do F430.
Ooh.
There were some cool special editions of the F430.
Mhm.
Bugatti?
Ferrari F430.
No, would you get a Bugatti?
No,
Bugatti's out the budget.
No.
That is definitely
it's
out the
not.
budget.
You could get a Bugatti.
No, it's a
Did you get
million. A Bugatti's just a
Yeah.
million, right?
Well, I mean, it depends on the Bugatti and
Yeah, I
stuff.
would.
But yeah,
I would want
roughly. But then you have like 200K a year in upkeep and stuff. It's
Yeah,
not going to
maintenance.
appreciate more than your maintenance.
Facts.
So you still lose money. I
Oh,
wouldn't buy a
that's
Bugatti.
true.
Yeah.
Because you
Um,
have too much money on maintenance.
I
That's
would
crazy,
go
actually.
hunt down. I want a 675 LT.
Ooh,
McLaren.
Yeah.
That was a cool McLaren.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I might have to get an Aston Martin of some sort.
Advantage.
You got to. That's a classic, man.
I would
I love an
probably
Aston
go
Martin.
hunt down a Carrera GT.
Ooh. Ooh.
See
Now,
if I could
would
get a
want,
Carrera GT.
I would want a rally.
Would you get a
car. I would get
Koenigsegg?
Audi rally. Oh, I would get a Koenigsegg though.
Koenigsegg might be out of budget.
Yeah.
If
that
if
might be.
Pagani and Koenigsegg are in budget,
That's also like
I would get
almost like
each
a
of
million.
those.
Almost, right? I think.
Nah,
How
that's
much is
way more.
Koenigsegg is
Koenigsegg
over.
Yeah, Koenigsegg is really expensive. I think Pagani
Over a million?
Over 10.
Uh,
Pagani's also over 10.
10 million? It's
Yeah.
not 10 million. No.
Koenigsegg's, I'm looking to try and see like rough numbers. Okay, we could get a Koenigsegg.
How
We
much
could
are
get a
they?
Regera or an Agera.
How much are they going for?
Around 5 mil.
Oh,
5 mil. Yeah, dude, I was like, no way it's over.
what's a Pagani? then?
that.
Pagani's
Over a
probably
few
also
mil.
5 then.
It
say Pagani's probably around.
the Paganis, it really depends on the Pagani because they're all bespoke. They're all built for their original purchaser.
Yeah. Facts.
Um,
I'd want an old school like Audi Quattro. Those are sick cars.
the Zondas are closer to 10 million.
Dang.
I don't know if I could get a Zonda. I could get a Huayra, but I would want a Zonda.
Yeah.
The Huayra is not as fun. Zonda F.
Would you get a Viper? A Dodge Viper?
Nah.
I don't think so, actually.
Nah.
But that
I
does
don't like
remind
Dodge
me,
Vipers.
I would get
I don't
Eleanor.
like Dodge Vipers.
I would get an 06 GT.
I would get a GT. I would definitely get a GT.
I want the 06 one,
Yeah.
not the new one.
Dude, I would get a
Yeah.
old school Mercedes Eclipse, dude.
Dang.
I mean, not Mercedes, Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Like the
Oh,
those
true.
Those
Honda
shits go
ones.
so hard, dude. I used to play that
you
in
mean
Need for Speed
Yeah, the Lancer,
Underground.
The Lancer, or
Yeah.
not Lancer, Evo, right? That's what it's called. Evo. The one?
Lancer Evo.
Yeah, the rally cars.
Well, I mean, the Lancer Evo.
I
and
love the Mitsubishi Eclipse,
Subaru and
man. That shit was
Preza
classic.
are like they were the
WRX.
duels. The
I
dueling
think that was
cars.
like an 06.
But yeah,
I can't
so
remember.
I'd do Eleanor and 06 GT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd really want a boat, but it's just gonna lose money.
Yeah.
It's just gonna lose money.
Where would you sail with your boat?
If I had a boat,
Yeah.
I would keep it in Chicago in the summer, then sail it out into the ocean down to Florida for winter, then sail it back to Chicago for the summer.
God damn.
Damn.
How
I
long?
would
How
live
long
on my
would that
boat.
be? How long would that be? Like
The
one
trip?
way? Yeah.
I don't know. I have a fucking boat.
Fucking
Why do I need to know how long the trip is gonna be? I'm living on my
just
boat.
be floating for days.
I mean, look, I'm buying a boat to make the trip.
Yeah, and
I'm not gonna
as
be
long
out
as your
here
boat
on
has
like
a
12
fucking
foot
motor.
boat.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
like an actual boat.
Yeah. Like a.
As long as it's got a motor, you're chilling.
Yeah. How
Let
much?
me-
How much does a boat like that cost? Like
let me show you my boat.
Like a really you would need a really nice fucking
Yeah.
boat.
Let me show you my boat.
And then you just
legit
need to make
yacht.
stops at like the coastal cities for
Yeah.
gas and
for
shit.
fuel and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get some food.
How do
That
they even
way-
fuel up? I've never seen a
Yeah.
boat fuel up.
Really?
I've never seen that shit.
You've never
Yeah.
put gas in a boat? There's just a
No, I
dock
put,
you
like,
go to
gas
with a
in, like-
gas pump next to it.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Dang.
it's just like there's a gas station on the ocean,
That's
and it's
actually
just a
kinda
gas
sick.
pump on a
Really?
dock.
That's
I've never
kinda
seen
sick.
that.
Me neither.
I've never seen that. I've seen where like they have like the mini motor on the boat and you literally just fucking dump gas. I've seen
Well,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
But I haven't
yeah.
seen like
For like an
them
actual yacht
actually
and
just
stuff.
like have
Yeah.
a gas station in the fucking
Yeah.
middle of the
That's
water.
actually sick.
Every marina, I think,
kinda
has
sick.
like a gas station, because otherwise, how would people put gas in their boats? There's one right
Exactly, I
on
don't
the
know. I've
shore,
never seen
like in front of the field
I've,
museum.
I've literally never
really?
fucking seen it.
Dang.
We've literally passed it like a million
Yeah,
times.
no, I'm sure. I just have no idea what it is.
I can't remember the name of this boat company that I want to buy my boat from. Hold up. What's his name?
So if you had the money, would you get a super yacht like Jeff Bezos's super yacht?
Like a Lamborghini yacht.
I would be
Like, that
hard
thing's-
pushed to get something bigger than this. But this is what I'd get with my 10 million. This is about 5.5.
True.
And that's what I'd sail from
That'd be
Chicago to Florida.
That'd be sick.
It's like a
There's-
28
yeah, there's no
meter
way he sees
boat. It's a catamaran. It's got a jet ski in it.
Dang.
Wow.
That's actually lit.
I can't remember Sea Reef or Sun Reef. They're the ones who make them.
Dang.
Dude, why do I hear so many people getting hurt from jet skis? What do people
I don't know,
do?
dude. I
Just
love
like, do
jet
they go
skis.
too
Just dumb
fast?
stuff.
I love.
Do they
jet
go too
skis.
fast?
I don't know.
Like,
I
how
don't
the
know.
fuck
Yeah,
do you?
like,
What do you
yeah.
do?
Well,
Like when
there
you
are-
fucking die
There
on
are
them?
multiple ways to hurt yourself on a jet ski. The number one way people hurt themselves on a jet ski is they forget
Yeah.
boats don't have brakes. And they fly into
hard
things.
True.
They crash into boats. Okay.
Yeah. Or docks or the shore.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So they just go too fast and they can't stop.
Yeah.
Just crash.
Right, and they crash into some shit.
But yeah.
I mean, that's the classic.
Darwinism.
That's a classic one then.
Yeah. So there's that.
It's the same thing like with ski
There's
accidents. and
People
shit.
try to impress their friends and splash them with water off the back of their jet ski, and instead of turning and splashing them with water, they hit the boat. And
kill
they
them.
fly off the jet ski, or they
Oh.
face plant into the side of a boat.
God damn.
Oh, I thought that you meant
jet
when
skis
they're
can
in the
hit
water.
jet skis, and if you get hit by another jet ski, good luck keeping whatever body part gets hit by the other jet ski because you're going
Fuck.
60 miles an hour in different directions.
God damn.
Yeah, so
Look at that beaut.
I guess just jet ski alone.
Hey.
I think that's the best solution.
I
Here.
love jet skis. I will ride jet skis. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Don't be dumb.
I'm
You're
not
riding a
an
jet
idiot.
ski. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my boat if
No, see,
I
I
didn't
would,
care
Wow.
about any of the money coming back to me. But
Yeah.
no, what do you mean about so many people getting hurt on jet skis though? I feel like
I just
there's not like
I feel like
increase,
I've
it's just same.
I feel like I always just hear people fucking just dying on jet skis. Like I don't hear that for like much else, but like I've heard jet skis and like
Oh.
obviously you hear motorcycles.
Wait,
Motorcycles and jet skis are like the things you hear people dying off of.
The motorcycles,
like
yeah.
I want to change my answer for
For?
my $10 million.
okay.
I'm only buying 3 cars. And
Okay.
then I'm getting a hangar, a boat, or a hangar, a plane, and a helicopter.
Chopper. True.
Oh, dude, buying a
True.
plane would be lit.
Yeah. that
Buying a
would be
plane,
cool.
because
I would get a
dude,
plane.
then who's
Planes
stopping
hold their
you, dude?
money.
Yeah, plane would be lit.
Yeah, dude, plane. You could go anywhere whenever you want, as long as you
just
like,
take off real
Well, you
quick.
got to pay for
you know,
gas,
and land.
pay for landing
Yeah.
fees and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah,
we
land
can go
and
to
park. I
Florida
guess you have to
tomorrow.
pay for
Yeah,
parking.
that would be
You got to pay
sick.
for parking too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, just hanger.
And then helicopter.
I wouldn't want a chopper.
helicopter. I don't know how. I don't trust helicopters.
Yeah. Me
You know,
either.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't trust no
Good luck.
helicopters.
Yeah.
They're perfectly trustworthy.
Mm.
I don't think so.
Both of you are saying this because you're saying this because Kobe died in a helicopter.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Do you know what the
So-
accident report for that accident said?
Yeah, I know it's weather and all
It
that.
was-
No,
it was a cloudy
it
day.
was pilot error.
It was a cloudy day.
Yeah, no.
Nothing
Yeah.
happened to the helicopter. It hit the ground fully intact with
Exactly.
nothing have broken.
Exactly.
It was
So I don't
pilot
trust
error.
that pilot. I don't trust myself.
I'm the pilot.
Yeah. No,
That's on
Yeah, I
you.
don't trust myself
That's on
driving
you
a
if you don't
helicopter.
think you could
Yeah.
pilot a helicopter.
No, I don't
But
trust.
No, I'm
trust
good.
I could-
if a
I could wrangle
professional
that chopper.
working multiple years can just
Fuck up. Yeah.
get fucked up by a cloud, that I'm not.
I'm good, man.
I think I'm good. I think
There's
I'm
a
good
simple
real quick.
solution. Just don't fly into the cloud. He could have not flown into the cloud, but he was like, I'm going to get him there.
That's true.
He
I mean,
wasn't
that was
supposed
that's
to fly into the cloud. They weren't cleared
Yeah.
for instrument flight rules. But this was
That's
all
true.
on the pilot. The helicopter didn't just blow up midair.
But I have way more comfort in a plane, man. I feel like planes are pretty damn safe nowadays.
Well,
And you
see,
can even
that's
get the
wild
ones
to me.
which have a dude. They have a parachute now.
Yeah, the
they have these
Cirrus
planes
Vision
that they
jet.
sell that have that parachute.
It's the
That thing's
Cirrus
incredible.
Vision jet. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's incredible. So it's like they're super safe nowadays, dude. So I have no problem with planes.
Yeah.
That shit's lit.
Much rather fly a plane than chopper.
I want both. But yeah, I'd do that with the 10 million too.
See, I think.
Wait, what was the third thing you were gonna buy? You said something else. What was
hangar?
the other thing?
A hangar, like
Oh,
at a
just
private
put all the
airport.
stuff in.
Yeah.
Yeah, to put all the stuff in. Okay.
Yeah. And I'd
No,
keep my
yeah.
cars and my planes and my helicopter all in the
Yeah.
hangar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think choppers look cool, but yeah, I wouldn't want to own one. It's like boats. I wouldn't want to own a boat either.
Well, boats are different than them.
Yeah, boats just
Boats just
you
lose
just
money.
Yeah, you just lose everything. A boat.
The helicopter is not exactly the same as that.
Yeah,
A
no,
it'll hold
chopper
their
is
value.
definitely a better financial decision, but I feel like they're both not for me. I don't want a chopper.
I
or a
want
boat.
both.
I would
You
still
really
get
don't
a
want a
boat.
boat?
Though. You never know.
Nah,
you can need a boat.
You
You
wouldn't
never know.
take
when
that.
you
I mean,
need a
I
boat.
would want.
Well, need a boat is a strong statement. I don't know if you ever need a boat unless the whole world's flooding.
Yeah.
You might
yeah.
need a boat.
Nah, see, I would have to have fuck you money to buy a boat. Like that's what that is. Like even at 10 mil, I'm not buying a boat.
No, you got to have another 10 mil.
Yeah,
to
I gotta
throw
have
at the
another
boat.
10 mil. Exactly. I gotta have fuck you money to buy a boat.
So yeah, that's why I was like, if I could, I would, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. Facts.
But yeah, I would
You could-
sail
yeah,
my
you
nice
never
boat
know.
from Chicago to Florida to Chicago to Florida every 3 months, every 6 months. whatever we want to say it is. Then I'd live on the lake
never know
in a
real
marina
quick.
here in my giant ass boat. I'd like get up and look out at all the little boats and be like, "Hi, you plebs."
Just flex
Dude,
the
that's
boat.
why. Imagine how badass it would be to have a super yacht like Bezos, and you
Well,
just
what
like pull
I'm
up
not
on
even
people,
talking
like,
about a super yacht. I'm just talking about a normal yacht that's bigger than most of the other.
yeah,
normal
like
yachts.
yeah, like a pretty big
Yeah.
yacht.
See, I would go one way and then I would just fly back because I'd be like, yo, I'm not going this boat all the way back again.
Why?
Because there's too much water.
I mean,
Why?
you really have to like be able to like.
You aren't in the water.
You have
No,
to have
I
like
would
a.
have-
As long as you got your Starlink set up,
Yeah,
like
but
you're
like
chilling.
even then,
Honestly.
Yeah, you got
would just be one
Starlink,
way.
you got
I couldn't
power,
do it.
you got hot food,
I couldn't do that.
you have a crew on board with you. Like that boat, you're not
Wait, who-
taking that yourself.
Oh,
How much
Yeah,
of a
how much
crew
is
you need,
crew?
Bob?
I don't know.
Just
This
like
is why
could,
you
could
can't
us
get the
do
boat
it?
because you got to pay
Could
salary.
it just be us three? Would us three be enough?
I mean, maybe.
yeah. See, that would be fun just one way. If it's like how long is it? I don't even know how long it is.
We don't either. I don't know how long it takes to get there going like 25
probably
miles
takes,
an hour in a boat.
I would say it probably takes like at least a
You're
week.
taking like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe like a month.
No, but
Like, I feel
I
like-
would think you could be able to do it a little bit faster.
No, think
Nah.
about
Yeah,
it.
you got a
You
motor.
have to go from Lake Michigan up
Yeah.
all the way through the canal out into
All right,
the
let's find out.
ocean
I'm gonna
at the
find out right now.
northern tip of Maine, and then you have to
Yeah,
come
and then come
all the
down.
way down
T.
the east coast.
yeah,
And this would definitely be like 3 week journey minimum.
yeah. I feel like it's gonna take a month. So like that's why I'm down to tank a month and do it for like that'll be fun, but I can't dedicate 2 months. Or actually, it's broken up because we're gonna go down to Florida, chill for a bit, and then come back like during summer. So I guess it's not that bad.
6 months later.
Yeah, so it's not that bad, but
So there's 6 months gap in between every time you do it.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna find out.
And it's not just the three of us. It's the crew is making us dinner every night and driving the boat while we do other things.
Yeah, see, if it's like a cruise, like if we're taking a
Why do you think
cruise-
people buy boats?
I don't
That's
know.
what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a cruise every 6 months, fuck it, like a private.
You get to a
cruise.
certain level of boat
It would take
where you no longer
23
drive
to
your own boat.
27 days. It would almost take a month.
Yeah,
23
it's a
to
month.
27 days.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, Bobby, I'll hop on your boat.
Tell me this does not sound like a great life plan.
No, that would be great if you're paying for it. I'm just not trying
If you
to pay
got
for it.
yeah, I mean if you got nothing else to do,
Yeah, no,
who
exactly.
gives an F, right? But
yeah, like if I
it's
have the
it's a matter of
opportunity to
like,
do
do you need to be on land? You know, like
it. Yeah,
eventually.
Well,
You
that's
know,
why
like,
my
or do you-
helicopter's on the back of the boat.
You know,
that's why my helicopter.
I take my helicopter with. I'm mobile.
so you're just gonna have like someone on your crew just driving
Just
the rest of the,
driving the
way. Like,
Well, no, that's their job is to drive the boat, cook meals, make sure the boat's ready, make sure it's maintained, make sure there are no issues.
you just gotta
My
slave real
job
quick.
is that's
No,
it's
it's
literally
true.
paying
It's
someone's
true.
salary. This is a normal thing
Yeah,
that
they're a
happens.
professional.
This
You
is
just gotta
literally
slave.
there are like deckhands, like lifelong deckhands that do this for their full career parts. This is not I'm not
not
like
forcing
making
someone
something
to
up.
do
I'm
it.
not forcing someone to do it. You hire people for this and pay them salaries to live in luxury on a boat. So yes, when I leave in my helicopter, my boat doesn't just crash. They drive it. And then so as we're rounding and passing New York, we can take my helicopter into the city, go to a Knicks game, go back to the boat, and continue our journey to Florida.
Yo, Bobby thinks he's Batman.
Why am I Batman?
You got a
It has-
chopper.
So a lot of people have choppers.
Just like what? We're just gonna land on like MSG, watch a Knicks game.
No, you just pay a landing fee at a helipad on a building near it. You go down, take transportation, get there, get a car.
True.
We could
True.
land at the airport and just get a car, get a driver. Why do we have to land on top of
I don't know.
Madison Square Garden?
I don't know. That'll be fucking sick though.
But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
see the options?
That would be
See
sick.
the options? Whenever we get bored of the boat, we'll just hop in my helicopter and go ashore.
But either
while
way,
the boat keeps
either way,
going.
you need to have a lot of money because I'm sure these fees are expensive as fuck.
Oh yeah,
Like, just to land on that helicopter pad,
Yeah,
no,
probably.
it's gonna be expensive.
Probably.
The boat itself is expensive.
I mean, the boat's like $7 million.
Helicopter itself is expensive.
The helicopter's probably, I don't know, a range of helicopter
and
prices,
that-
but I'm gonna say
that crew
roughly
you got-
$7 million.
Yeah,
Probably
That
roughly
crew you got
$7 million
making
for a
you-
helicopter too.
yeah,
Fresh food on the boat,
yeah. The cruise probably.
they gotta cost a pretty penny too.
I feel like salary is probably gonna be like 2 mil.
Unless you gotta working like slaves, bro.
Dude, stop.
I'm gonna throw you
contorting.
overboard.
Stop
Don't
contorting.
make me this.
They are
fucking
paid. They are paid workers.
He's like, it's like
Oh,
a fucking
no.
pirate.
shit. Yeah,
That's epic. Okay, the chopper, we're only looking at like $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, it's
The
not the
copter?
biggest chopper in the world.
chopper.
Yeah.
Chopper, copter. What are we going with here?
Say whatever you want. I'm calling it a chopper.
Chopper, not a chopper.
Or I can say chopper.
Tony Chopper.
Chopper.
We could get an epic one. We could get like a corporate one.
No, I would want a
That's
military
pretty
one.
hard.
I would want
not-
an
I
ex-military.
can't put a Black Hawk on my boat. The Black Hawk is bigger than the boat.
just imagine how
Don't
fast
get
that
me
thing would
wrong.
be.
I get you.
It'd be so
I get
fast.
where you're coming from.
Nah, see, I trust the Blackhawk. I trust that.
We could get a Bell.
Yeah, no, that thing it never falls out of. I mean, it just happened. Actually, never mind. That
Oh,
literally
shit.
just happened.
Yeah,
Never
don't,
mind.
don't say it. Never.
I was about to say that thing never crashes, but it literally just did.
Oh.
Never mind.
Okay, we could get that one.
Dang.
We could get that one. It says call for price.
Oh.
But no, this would be like
Whatever it says, call for price.
this
that
would be
thing's
like what we
fucking
were looking at.
expensive.
Like
That
the 1
thing's
mil?
crazy
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, I see.
No, they just aren't giving out the prices.
Not the biggest fan of choppers.
Dude, we could just take my
you-
chopper from the boat. It would be
Do
epic.
governments sell their old helicopters? Do
Yes.
they sell it?
Well, I mean, some of them, yeah. After they're retired, yeah.
Because I'm like,
You can get
Those might be
Blackhawks
lit.
and Hueys.
I was like, those might be lit.
There's
Imagine
literally
how
a
fast
dude
that
on
thing is.
YouTube who has a Blackhawk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And flies it around.
that thing's probably so fast.
It also burns a
great.
lot of fuel.
Oh
Yeah, no, I
It
mean
is fast.
that's the downside of it, right? Like, yeah, it's gonna go fast, but
Burns like
it's
thousands
like
of dollars.
it's
of
like a
fuel an
sports
hour.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sports car, but like way more fuel.
Way more extreme, yeah.
But yeah. So that's our $10 million question. Parse is up 2 points to nothing. And yeah, I guess. Are you gonna claw it back?
Let's see.
I guess closing questions here.
Oh, wait, I can't if it's the last question.
Well, we'll give you double or nothing if Parse is willing to gamble one of his points.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
Parse, you're on
Double
the
or
line
nothing.
for 1 point. Ananya, we're
Yeah.
going big here.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
hit big or go home.
I care so much.
I'm sure you do. I am sure you do.
Are you
gotta
gonna get
come
a
up with the
non-money
question still.
non-money question?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna try to avoid money, but I wasn't really
For
sure what to go
$500
with.
million.
Yeah. Well, I feel like money's a good motivator, but
Yeah, but we have already had 2 questions
Yeah, we
now,
got-
so let's
yeah.
try to get some.
okay.
some
Here's a
else.
good
away.
one. Here's a good
Go away for
one.
money.
The world is gonna end.
Okay.
You can save
Apocalypse.
yourself by living underground here
Mm-hmm.
or leaving to go be part of like the spacefaring part of humans. Which are you doing? Why? And I guess like you can pick too, like, would you go to a planet? Would you go to a space station? Would you live under a rock? Like,
If-
what would
Wait,
your
how's the world
underground base
ending?
be?
How's the world ending?
Asteroid?
What's the... Wait,
I
what
don't
was
know.
it?
I said
Asteroid?
asteroid. Yeah,
You just
sorry,
said
but
it.
I choked a little bit. I got a little bit of phlegm in my throat. Asteroid. I feel like asteroid is a good reason. Maybe let's just
Wait,
do
how are you
radiation is
How are you
everywhere.
gonna survive underground then?
Let's
if
just
it's an
do
asteroid?
Fallout scenario. Radiation is everywhere.
Radiation.
Yeah. Nukes
Oh,
aren't
then
going
you'd have
off.
to be
There's just radiation
Really
everywhere.
deep.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really deep in the
You're
ground.
deep enough.
see.
You could figure that part out.
Okay. Okay.
It's not about the survivability of being underground here. It's
Yeah.
your choice.
Okay.
Yeah. Nah, see, I don't want to go underground, so I would just dip for a new planet.
Ananya would dip. New planet?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
No.
going
No
new
space
planet.
station?
No, that'd be horrible.
Nah.
That'd be horrible.
I
No.
think it'd be sick.
Stay on Earth.
I'd
I'd be
I think it'd
underground.
be sick.
What would your
Hell no.
occupation be?
What would my occupation be?
Wait, did
We'll
did,
get to you.
Did they
We'll
figure
get
out
to you.
Did they figure out artificial gravity yet?
We'll get to
That's a
you.
major question.
We'll get to
Okay.
you. What's your occupation?
What's my occupation?
On your new planet.
On my new planet.
Yeah, Bob's hosting this shit. Man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, what would be my occupation? I'll probably do similar shit to what I'm doing on Earth. I wouldn't change much. Probably be an
Well, you
engineer
gotta
of
help
some
the
sorts.
society. You're
Yeah.
building a new society.
wanna
Maybe
build
he's
stuff.
gonna turn
I'd
into
be
a
like,
fucking those Wally motherfuckers.
Yeah, just floating. No,
No, he said he was going to a planet, not
Yeah.
staying in a space station.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying.
If you were gonna stay in a space station, I was gonna say that, but
No, see, I would go to
I
a
was gonna make
planet.
a Wally joke.
I'd be some type of engineer.
Okay.
Some type of engineer. I think that'd be cool.
Would you ever come back?
Wait,
Yeah, no, if I could live on land, I would come back.
Okay.
I just don't personally want to
And
live underground.
So Parse is going underground. Parse, tell us about your underground layer. What's it gonna be like? What are you gonna do?
because I see too many problems with leaving the Earth. One major problem is like they still haven't found a real true Earth clone. Like, so they haven't found it. So all the gravities are different. So that's gonna F up your biology, right? So even going to space in the first place already Fs up your biology right off the bat. Even your eyes get damaged just going to space at this point. So there's no way I'm leaving Earth. I'd rather go underground, and we can already create artificial light. We can create artificial UV. We'll still have basically farming down there. We'll probably create like a freaking artificial sun down there. Dude, I got no problem being underground. We'll recreate all of
I don't
Earth
know.
underground real quick.
Okay.
I
That's
feel
my
like
opinion.
If I had the chance,
Going
I
to
would
space is
explore another planet.
way too many problems real quick.
So you think Ananya would make it?
No, I mean he'd have a really he's
tough.
probably gonna get like osteoporosis
That's
in
tough
space
for
real
you.
quick.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna make it.
I would
bro.
risk
He's
it though.
gonna-
I would risk a new planet. That'd be sick.
That's interesting.
I think it'd be sick.
Or it's gonna be like Avatar. He's gonna have to like put his consciousness in an alien body real quick. That's his only
True.
shot.
Some shit like that.
No, you can't do that. That's outside the rules.
Is that not allowed? It's not allowed.
We don't mingle with technology that way, so you can't do that. Okay. So we have one ground dweller.
Oh yeah, who wins? Who wins?
I'm trying to decide. Trying to consider the options.
What would you do?
What I do?
Yeah.
It would be tough for me. I'd probably want to leave, but Parse isn't wrong.
Yeah, no, your Bars definitely isn't wrong, but I would want to check out a new planet. I think
And
that'd be sick.
we can like even my bigger issue is I don't know if I'd want to spend the rest of all time inside or in a mask.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't want to live
Like you
on
could
a
still live
space
underground in the earth
Yeah.
and have air.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
eventually when the radiation's gone, you could go out and have air.
Yeah, and that's relatively quickly, like we saw with Chernobyl. That's within 100 years.
Well, I
You'd
mean,
go back out.
don't go dig in the ground and lay in it in Chernobyl because it's not going to end well for you.
No,
But
but
yes.
stuff's surviving over there. Yeah, I mean,
Well, no, I know, but then a bunch of soldiers got radiation poisoning because they were told to dig foxholes there. So
yeah,
it's still there. Don't feel like it's gone. It's still a problem.
yeah, no, but I'm sure you could like after that 100 years of degradation, you could find like open spots which are actually have like really really low amounts.
Well, yeah, it would all be a depends type thing, but no,
Yeah, basically that's why I wouldn't leave. I think it would be relatively habitable like for like your grandchildren. So it's like just survive and then your grandchildren will fucking live type of
Yeah.
shit.
no,
You know.
I think I'd stay too. Get a little pad down there. Maybe make an underwater
dude.
pool.
It would be basically the same shit as long as like
Parse
we
could be
didn't
my
lose too much
neighbor.
technology. If we lost too much, that's another thing though to worry about. If you stayed, like, how much technology do we lose? Like, did we forget how to do certain things, and then
Well,
that'd be
did
the
we
problem.
or everything we just go underground
Or
with?
is everything just destroyed?
Like we just built
Yeah.
everything to be
Exactly
underground
that.
too. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we figured out how to go deep enough, like you said, then we definitely remembered a lot of stuff still. Then, in my opinion.
like we built the technology into the bunkers. So
Yeah.
during construction, when we were putting in all the bunkers, we added like data centers to the outside, so every bunker has servers, and then you just put the whole internet down there, and then it's fine. It's with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
There you go. Problem solved. Keep all the knowledge. He loses.
And it's
it.
like I feel
He
like if there
loses it to
was that much
radiation.
radiation around,
Also,
I feel like
Wi-Fi on a
maybe
different
we.
planet.
Nah, cosmic radiation will get you.
I'll watch a UFC pay-per-view on Saturn. That'd be
There
hype.
won't be.
Yeah, you'll watch the UFC like 35 days later.
The planet's
when you
gone.
get the
Oh yeah, no, it'll be an underground fight.
It'll be an underground UFC.
Yeah, it'll be an underground
yeah,
fight.
and you'll get it days
In the
and days
tunnels.
later from communication.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. You can't watch anything live.
Yeah, I'll risk it.
It's gonna take forever. But all right, it's time to crown a winner.
Oh yeah,
I think Parks wins.
true.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine.
I'm
That
sorry.
That is
Damn,
completely fine.
damn, I went completely against Nate.
I am
He's
very
like,
sorry. The last one was really a 50-50, but I didn't feel like he deserved to lose.
True. Fair enough.
But, now that makes me say, I also didn't feel like you deserved to lose. But he did gamble a point. It could have been a twist. It was heated. It was a battle.
Heated. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's a close fight. Close fight. Keep your head up. You'll win the next one.
Bet.
Not just because I give out the points. But yeah, I guess that should about do it for us here, though. We made it all the way through those 3 intense questions.
Yeah.
With the force field and the boats.
Yeah, and
Lightsabers.
No, the force field.
Oh.
yeah, I don't know if we.
No, we don't
If
have
we
to
answer
mention
them.
that. We don't have to mention that. Yeah. No. You can leave that there. But yeah. Anyone got a quote to get us out of here? Or anything they want to shout out? Got anything coming out?
Oh, we got F1 content coming out.
Oh yeah, we do. Every race of the year.
Yeah, we got that shit coming out.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll make something probably tomorrow. So look out for that.
Hey.
I'll be back finally making content. It's been a while.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. You got a quote for us, Parse? I like your quotes.
I don't know. I don't think I got anything. Nate, you got
I can't
something?
hear you.
You got something or no? I don't got nothing.
Definitely do not, but let's look.
Dude, off the dome. What are you doing?
You got one off?
If not, we gotta go to a Bob quote.
We do my quotes all the
we got a
time.
Bob quote.
We need one from you guys off the dome.
Let's see.
I know, dude. I don't know anything off the dome.
Yeah,
Nothing's
legit.
ever off the dome for me.
Nothing's ever
I've
off the
never
dome.
had
You haven't
anything.
watched any TV show in the last week that you can't say one
No,
line from.
I'm
There's
like
something
I'm not
funny.
that type of person. I don't know lines from anything. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know any
Not
lines,
even
dude.
your
My
favorite
brain's
movie. You can't picture any character in your favorite movie saying anything.
no, nothing. Nothing, dude.
Piece.
That's like
There's
the
not a single phrase in One Piece that you can think of. It does not.
One Piece-
I have
in
quoted
One Piece
Will
you can think
Ferrell
of
like
good things.
180 times. It does not matter what it is.
all right. I will become king of the pirates. There you go.
Hey,
That's it.
Hell yeah.
That's a quote.
Hell yeah.